Hi everyone, welcome to Moon Sanctuary. My name is Belle, and Moon Sanctuary is a safe place to discuss twin flame unions, spirituality, astrology, and unconditional love. So right off the bat, I have a channeled message from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine, and the message is, I am so sorry for how I acted when I was thinking only out of my ego. I want to tell you how I really feel, and I wish things could be different. I can't believe that I even acted that way. I remember every detail of that day. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the tarot and the messages here. But that is a channeled message and what I am seeing for across the board what's going on today. Divine Feminine, you know what your Divine Masculine did. So whatever he did out of ego has already happened. This is already in the past. It's already happened. You might be already thinking about exactly what I'm talking about. And it's very clear that this is something that's keeping the Divine Masculine up at night, because I have quite a few negative cards on the table. So he's really feeling quite ashamed of himself, honestly. The first card that we have here is the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is talking about regrets, failure, disappointment, pessimism. He feels like he's failed you. He's looking at the things that he's done wrong. He can't even think about all the things that he's done right for you. He's just like over and over again in his head, he's like, why did I even do that? The thing that I did, why did I even do that? Why did I say that to her? Or why did I do that to her? At the end of the day, it wasn't any payoff. So there's a lot of different situations that are coming in my head right now. But for example, if he hurt you some way, like he did something to you or said something directly to you, he's thinking, why would I even do that? Because at the end of the day, it didn't do anything. It didn't help me in any way. It didn't help my union in any way. It didn't help my Divine Feminine in any way. All it made was just this pain that has lasted for weeks, months, years. You know what I'm talking about, Divine Feminine. So some of my Divine Feminines, this is something recent that only happened weeks ago that he's still thinking about. But for some of my Divine Feminines, their Divine Masculine had this one huge mess up, that this thing that they did that's from years ago. I'm hearing for some Divine Feminines, this could be like 5 years ago is the number I'm getting in my head. Like this is like more than 5 years ago, a long time ago. Some of you guys could have been connecting with your Divine Masculine for a long time. I heard friends first. So some of you might have been friends with your Divine Masculine first, and that makes it even harder for them because they're like, this girl, she knows me so well. We were friends first, and I had so much respect for her when we were friends, and I would never have hurt her the way I did when I did this one thing out of my ego. And so you know exactly what it is, Divine Feminine. So let's go ahead and get some astrology cards. I always use the astrology cards to kind of define the tarot and see more messages here. So let's go ahead and see. Oops, it fell on the floor. I don't really shuffle messy. I shuffle really clean. So when it falls on the floor, it's like really, we have to pay attention to this. I actually got Scorpio to define the Five of Cups, and the cups are already talking about water energy. And the Five of Cups is actually symbolized by Mars in Scorpio. This is like intense. We're getting really, really intense energy of regret. There is so much regret. There's a lot of purging happening with the Divine Masculine right now, trying to release this regret. He feels really exposed, like his ego really exposed. He feels embarrassed. Straight up, I hear these like shame, embarrassment, guilt from this one thing that he did out of his ego. He cannot believe that he did this. Like it's laughable, because it's like, and there's not enough words in the dictionary to kind of like explain this. Like, why did I do this? This is so out of my character. So you only know what it was, Divine Feminine, and it is something that you know. He did this directly to you or around you. You saw this. You know that he did this or said this. It is something where you just felt like that was really out of character for him. You were shocked, essentially, that happened as well. Trust, he was shocked as well. I'm getting other energies on the table as well. So I'm also getting Capricorn and Gemini. So a message that I'm getting is to clear your mind from this, because, you know, sometimes when we're overthinking and we're getting a lot of anxiety as Divine Feminines, it's actually from our Divine Masculine, kind of like his overflowing amount of energy that he's sending to us through thoughts, because we are connected. We're all connected. So if somebody's thinking heavily about you, or even if people are talking badly about you or highly of you, you can kind of sense that. You can kind of feel that and it could affect you. The closer those people are to you. For example, I'll make an example. If your divine masculine is thinking about you or talking about you, he's gonna pop into your mind, most likely. But if like there's a distant person that you haven't talked to in years and they for some reason are holding a grudge against you and they are for some reason talking about you for like hours straight for some reason, they might crush your mind or you might get a hint of it, but it won't actually affect you. But if your divine masculine is thinking really heavily about you some days, you could feel the anxiety and you might even want to stay in bed all day, for example, because he's really close to you versus this other person where you haven't really talked to them. They just have a grudge against you. But you know, you want to protect your energy by clearing your mind, meditating, really connecting with the earth, maybe go outside if it's a good day. You know, we really need to just breathe and get that fresh air. Okay. And like I said, I'm also getting Capricorn on the table. So this is talking about getting serious about yourself, focusing on yourself, but also trying to be kind to yourself and unleashing the kindest part of yourself out there into the world. Because it is so easy for when people hurt us, like for us to just hurt other people because we just like kind of give up. But it's counterproductive because you will attract more hurt into your life doing things like that. So really focus on clearing your mind, going outside, getting that fresh air, and kind of just putting your kindest self in the world, because we are all connected by a lot of different things, but let's just say simply because we're human. So we are going to be better if we're nice to each other. So let's go ahead and move on. We got the Ten of Swords next, which is another one of those like really gut-wrenching cards. So this is how the divine masculine is feeling towards you. You know, this is a divine masculine to divine feminine reading. So yeah, he is feeling painful. This was a painful ending. This is really deep wounds and betrayal. So whatever he did out of his ego was terrible, you know, and he knows it and he feels the loss. He feels the crisis moment. Like a part of him knows that even if you did forgive him or said that you would forgive him, that you don't really forgive him. He knows that you did forgive him and that you're trying to move past it, but on the inside, he knows that he didn't. So I guess it's more like he doesn't forgive himself. And because you guys are twin flames, when you can't forgive yourself and you kind of hold on to it and you're like, I can never forgive myself for doing this thing, that gets trapped up into your energy and therefore you're sharing that energy. You cannot get him to let it go. He's gonna have to try to let it go himself, but you also have to try your hardest to help him with that by letting go as well. But let's go ahead and get an astrology card. Yeah, I'm just feeling like the pain from this. He doesn't know what to say. He wants to tell you how he feels, but it's hard to put words into how he feels. Yeah, I'm getting Jupiter to clarify that. And Jupiter is like the biggest planet, right? Grow and expand. So it's a huge amount of this feeling of the Ten of Swords. It's a huge amount of this pain and betrayal feeling. Like he is so ashamed, disgusted with himself. For some of my divine feminines, I'm seeing after this thing that he did, this could have been years ago for some. It's like as if you retreated into your friendships or you retreated into maybe a high level soulmate or something like that. And there was a point where this divine masculine was like, I can't even hate on it. I can't even deny her from that because that person or those group of friends can show her more love than I can right now. All these feelings, it's pretty intense. It's a lot. And you know, it's just time to be kind to ourselves. It's time to be kind to each other. I'm like stumbling on my words. I don't know how to say this. Like, I don't really know how to get my words across. And this is exactly how divine masculine is feeling. Because again, like I said, he wants to tell you how he feels, but it's hard when you don't really have the words like choked up about it. And of course, the next card that we actually have is the Tower. And so the Tower is a scary card for most. It is a Mars and fire type of card and it's talking about sudden changes, total upheaval, chaos, and it could also represent a revelation though, awakening and enlightenment. So it is positive, but it could also be negative. So let's go ahead and get the tarot and kind of just see what's going on here. I got 2, but I'll take it. House 4, and we're also getting air. So this is about the mind. So he's really thinking about all these things, and it's like about being open-minded and having objectivity and also learning. So he's trying to learn from the situation and have objectivity towards it, where he's like, okay, I was young or younger then, I was in my ego, this is not me. He's trying to detach himself from feeling this way about himself, because the air signs are also very detached. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, Libra, not so much, because Libra is more one one-on-one people in partnerships, but like trying to detach from the fact that he did this, because he doesn't want to carry this weight with him for the rest of his life either. And he doesn't want to be reminded of it either, Divine Feminine. If you are on the side of like not really forgiving it and bringing these things up, it's like, it's hard enough already for him, the fact that he did this and he's so embarrassed by it. He doesn't necessarily also want to be reminded of it again and again. So maybe the separation period is necessary. This tower moment is necessary so you both can work on forgiving and being kind to yourselves and breathing and getting outside into the earth. And also, Divine Feminine, I really encourage you to do something pleasurable for yourself. So whatever that is, I don't know what you like to do. Maybe you really like to go out to eat, but you don't really treat yourself that often. Or maybe you get your nails done only for special occasions. Well, what I'm trying to say is don't wait for a special occasion. Treat yourself, do something pleasurable to kind of get yourself into that more pleasurable energy rather than dwelling on this. Okay, so and then also house 4 is family, right? So family roots and culture, home, peace, comfort. I feel like they're spending a lot of time at home just kind of thinking and mulling over these things. But also what I'm getting out of this is that they see a home with you. You're their home. You're their sanctuary. So the fact that they're so far away from home right now, it's like it's hard to grow when you're not around. It's hard to even groom themselves when you're not around. They know how generous you've been for them. They know how much you have done for them. And for them to have acted out of their ego is insane. They're calling themselves insane. Okay, another card fell on the ground, so this is going to be important. We're getting Sagittarius to define the 6 of coins. So you have been so generous with your optimism. You have been generous with just who you are as a person, because the 6 of coins is talking about giving and receiving, right? Sharing your wealth, being generous, and basically charity. And I'm not saying like Divine Masculine is a charity case, but he kind of feels like a charity case. He's like, why do you have all this stuff? You are like the guru and you're just teaching me all these things and you're guiding me through life, and I'm like, I'm ride or die for you, but I'm ashamed, you know? So I don't want to be in your presence right now until I can get myself together. So that's what I'm getting, like big energy on, just kind of being so grateful for you, but at the same time wishing things could be different, like wishing that they didn't do that one thing out of their ego, because they remember every detail of that day and it's like playing again and again and again in their heads, and it's like getting exhausting. So the next card that we do have is the moon. So the moon is our illusions and fears and anxiety. It's our subconscious mind, and it is our dreams. And this is also representative of like our intuition and stuff like that. So I feel like he's really up at night, okay? Because it's also next to the 4 of swords. And this is just about like meditating and contemplating over it and having a lot of reevaluation energy towards something and kind of feeling apathetic towards everything else. So let's go ahead and get some astrology cards to clarify. But yeah, he's up at night, really thinking about this thing, and I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but it's true. Like, he really is thinking about this thing, and he wants to offer you something because the house 2 just came up to talk about the moon. He's also insecure about what he can provide you. Like, also remember where I said that you're so generous towards him? He's like, what can I even provide this person? Because the house 2 is talking about our physical security and our possessions, our material values, but also like our self-worth, who we kind of are in the terms of self-worth. House 2 is just as important as house 1 when it comes to the self. So he's kind of feeling like low self-worth right now, not that much self-esteem right now, and he feels like all he can offer you is like things that aren't of material value. It's like he can offer you an ear, he can offer you like a hug, like things that he doesn't even know that you actually want, but isn't even offering it because he's so stuck in his head right now. It's really sad. I am sad for this Divine Masculine and how he's feeling. Personally, like my throat is a little bit blocked off, so I could tell like he has a really blocked off throat chakra right now. And let's go ahead, last astrology card here. So we're getting the Aquarius card. Aquarius is very detached, and we got Aquarius earlier as well. So this is talking about, you know, I feel like detachment. Like, he's trying to detach himself from what he has done, and it's hard right now. Like, I am not trying to say forgive him easily for whatever he did, but Divine Feminine, it's kind of like he wants to say, has there ever been a time where you did something, and especially like in front of other people, or other people know that you did this thing, and you're just like, that feeling of just sheer embarrassment, that's just how he feels, and he's just trying to detach himself from feeling that way and feeling that way about himself, because he knows it's not helping the union, it's not helping you, it's not helping anybody to dwell on these things. But it's kind of hard to not dwell on them because it's so, the gravity of it is so high. So let's go ahead and get the astro dice to get one last message. All right, house 5, Gemini again, and the North Node, Rahu. So I really think that it's time to just focus on your pleasures, your creativity, even romance. Okay, I'm not necessarily saying focus on this person only. Remember earlier I said he feels like he saw you detach yourself and go towards friendships or even high-level soulmate, and said, you know, I don't even blame her because I can't show her that love right now. So go towards the love, the romance, the creativity, the pleasurable things in life, because the house 5 is the house of Leo and the house of our pleasures and hobbies. So you should really go towards those things, divine feminine, and honestly hang out with your friends, because I'm getting Gemini a lot of times, and Gemini is honestly a very social sign that has a lot of friends and loves to talk to people. So just get out there, talk to people, and kind of get your mind off of this. And if you're feeling random anxiety throughout the day, or a day that you just want to lay in bed all day, just remember that that could be energy that your divine masculine is sending your way, and it's not necessarily you. And also, I don't want to just say like distract yourself. That's not what I'm saying. If you need to think about these things, you can think about them and mull them over and meditate on them as well. But I wouldn't like put too much energy and mental thought into this, because this is really a divine masculine problem and thing. This is something that he did out of his ego, out of his own selfishness, honestly, that he needs to deal with. And just remember, like, if you're getting these random anxieties, it could be from him. And of course, like, I'm sensing like some divine feminines have been really tired lately and drinking like way more coffee than they usually would, and therefore in the day they're kind of like really tired, really burnt out, and they can't take a nap because they have to work or something, but at night then they're up. So, you know, just take care of your health. Be careful with the amount of caffeine you're drinking. That's a message I'm getting right now. Be careful about how much media you're consuming, even though that is something that might be pleasurable to you. If you're consuming a lot of readings or a lot of anything, a lot of TV just to numb yourself out, don't do that, because it's going to be like very counterproductive. And that's just something that Rahu kind of does. Rahu, the North Node, could have these mental things for us and make us crazy and like consume a lot, because Rahu is like our destiny, where we're supposed to go towards, but it is a little hard to like go towards that thing at times. It can make us a little bit airy. So yeah, that's all I have for you today, Divine Feminine. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give me a big like down below, and also comment down below what you resonated the most with, or just tell me your story. I'd love to hear your guys' stories and connect with you guys, even if it's just a quick like back. That is me sending you love, sending you light. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I post readings like this one every single week. I hope to see you here again on Moon Sanctuary. Until next time.